plots and stem and leaf plots, all right? And it's probably something that you would have come across in previous years. So we're just gonna look at it quickly and see how we go with it all. So essentially the success criteria is look for a key. That's really important with stem and leaf plots, okay? So we'll talk about that when we do an example. Use dot plots to organize data. That should be pretty straightforward. And finally, use back-to-back stem and leaf plots to compare two sets of data. Now, it's a really good method of quickly comparing two classes, two teams, two grade levels, anything. So it's really, really good. Okay, so make sure you write that down, title, learning goal, and let's move on. Okay, so we're going to organize the following information into, first of all, a dot plot, and the second of all, a stem and leaf plot. So let's go with a dot plot. So first of all, we have to do down here is like a number line. It's not exactly a number line. And we're guided by the lowest number and the highest number. I think I've got both of them. So we've got the lowest number and the highest number. So we're going to start from there. So I'm going to go 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So let's label it. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And now simply I'm going to do a dot for every time that I've got a number in there. So if I've got a 12, I'm going to put a dot above the 12. Another 12, I'm going to put another dot above there. 13, I'm going to put a dot. Now make sure these are level. Okay, so whenever you add a dot, that they're at the same level. And there's a very, very important reason for that. And that's that, so you can see the data clearly. So 14, let's put a dot there. So I'm trying to keep it at the same level. 15, trying to keep it at the same level. 12, okay, let's go one higher. 13, see how I kept it at the same level as the previous one there. 12, 12, 10. Okay. Now with this information, there's a lot that I can see is like, what was the most common number in these Smartie packets? So we've got a packet of Smarties. What was the most common number? Well, the most common number of Smarties in a box would be 12. You're pretty unlucky if you get 15 or 10 or even 14. I would say you're very lucky if you get 15 and 14. You're unlucky if you get 10. So a dot plot shows clearly information really, really quickly. Okay. Now it says to do a stem and leaf plot. In all honesty, it's probably not made for a stem and leaf plot too much. So I'm just going to quickly do it. Essentially, I'm going to put a key in, and the key is 1, 0 equals 10. Okay, so it means that if I put 1, 0, so I'm going to do a stem here. It really is not made for stem and leaf plot. Now, all of these are ones, so essentially we're just going to organize them all in one. So it's a really poor example of how we can use one. So I'm going to put 0, 1, 2 just to put that in. And now I'm going to organize them. Okay, so the lowest number is 0. So I'm going to cross that in and put that in. Then the next highest, it looks like it's 12. And how many 12s do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we've got 13. So let's cross all the 12s off. How many 13s do we have? 2, 1, 2. So 3, 3. And then finally we have a 14 and we have a 15, which will be there. Now, if I had extra numbers, if I had 25 and 9, let's say that for example, that means that I would have to put a 5 there because 25 is 25. And if I had a 9, I would put it here because 0, 9 is just 9. So that's why we have here. Let me just explain. 1, 0 is 10, 1, 2 is 12, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 12s. 1, 2, 3, yeah. I started counting wrong. It's 5 there. Okay. Hopefully you understand what it is. The key is the key. Okay. Let's move on. All right. So we're going to do a back-to-back stem and leaf plot. Okay. There are 2 classes to do a maths test out of 70. Here are the results. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on class A first, and then I'll do class B, and then we'll compare the data. So the first thing I need to do is draw the stem, okay? And now I need to look at my information. Now I need to look at both of them from the start. The lowest score I can see is about 32. So I'm looking for the 10s. So I'm going to put a key here. My key is, I'm going to put 1, 2 equals 12. Okay, so it just shows you that I'm putting my 10s in this column here. Now, what's our highest number? The highest number looks like it's 67. Oh, 70. All right. So that means I need all the 10s from 30 all the way to 70. So I'm going to put 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got all the 10s up to 70. And let's go. I'm going to do green for this one. So let's go. 45. So that's 4, 5. Oh, I've got to put it in order first. Sorry. You need to put it in order. So let's order class A. So let's go from lowest to highest. I feel like that's the lowest. 43. Then 45. Oh, 44 there. Then 45. And then I think that's all the 40s done. 50s, 53 I think is the next one. Then we got 56, if I'm not mistaken, yep. And we've got that twice. So there. And then we've got 60, 61, 62. 60, 61, 62. So 60, 61, 62. And then finally 67. Okay. Now I'm going to put that in. 43 there. Now the reason I need to put it in order is that if we look at this one that I said was a poor example, see how it's an ascending order that we're putting it in? That needs to always happen. We can't just go 5, 2, 1, 7. Like it needs to be going in order from lowest to highest. So be aware of all of that. Okay, so that's why we need to put it in order. So 43 done, 44 done, 45. And we're doing that because 4 and 5 is 45. Okay, so the next one will be 53. 53, so we're going down here, all right? 5 and 3 is 53. If we follow 1 and 2 is 12, we can follow the key for this stem and leaf plot. Let's keep going. 56. 56. 60, so now we're in the 60s column. So we've got 0. 61 will be 1. And notice I'm keeping these the same distance away, and that's a really important thing that we need to do, okay? Because if we're going to compare data, it needs to be set out correctly. So we're up to 61, 62, and then finally 67. So we've got that, and this I'm going to call class A as this one, okay? Now I'm going to set up the next one, class B, and the first thing I need to do is put it in order. Looks like 32 is the lowest, so I'm going to start with 32. Then it looks like 33, that happens twice, so let's put it there. Any more 30s? No, but we've got a 40. 43, looks like. 44 happens twice. And finally we have 45, and we have 50 and a 70. Yep, and we're done. Okay, and now I'm going to put that in. I'm going to call this class B. And now I'm going to start putting it in. Now the first lowest number is 32, so I'm going to cross that out. And I'm going to put a 2. Now I'm going to go in this direction. Just like in class A, I went this direction. With class B, I'm going to go the opposite direction. Okay, 33. So I'm going to go that way. 33, that way. 40, 0 there. 43, there. 44, there. Hopefully you're getting the point of what I'm doing. Okay. 50, there. And 70, there. All right, so we've done our back-to-back stem and leaf plot. We've got class A and class B. Now it says compare the data. Now I look at the data and it looks like class A overall did a lot better. Their marks are a lot higher, and you can see that because they're sort of skewed to the higher levels. All right, so remember the test is out of 70. They're getting closer to that 70, and class B sort of got like a big bunch of low marks. What class B did have is they had a couple of high performers. They got the only 100%, okay, and then they got somebody here. So class A had a lot of people in their 60s and 50s, whilst class B had heaps in the 40s, even though class A had and a couple in the 30s. So what a back-to-back leaf, stem and leaf plot gives us a really quick way of just saying, hey, you can see from here that this class is outperforming this class overall, okay? Because obviously class B had the highest mark, but we're looking at sort of big brush strokes overall. Hopefully that makes sense. Peace out.